Ever wondered what a billionaire buys with all that cash? Get ready to have your mind blown. Bill Gates, with a net worth of around $150 billion, owns some seriously wild and expensive stuff. From a yacht with its own waterfall to a machine that turns poop into water. We're about to dive into the crazy world of Bill Gates' most extravagant purchases. Let's dive in a journey through 14 of the craziest, most expensive things owned by the Microsoft genius himself. You won't believe what's coming. 1. A private island paradise. Imagine owning your very own slice of paradise. Well, Bill Gates doesn't have to imagine. He actually owns it. This tech genius decided to buy one of the biggest islands in the Caribbean. It cost him a cool $25 million, which is like pocket change for someone worth $150 billion. Now, you might think this island has a huge, fancy mansion on it. But no, it's actually pretty simple. There's just a small hut on the island. But don't let that fool you. This place is special. It's got some of the best scuba diving spots in the whole world. 2. The poop-to-water machine. Here's something really wild. Bill Gates spent a whopping $200 million on a machine that can turn poop into clean drinking water. Yes, you heard that right. Gates got this crazy idea when he was touring Africa. He saw how many people didn't have access to safe, clean water. This machine takes human waste, yep, poop, and turns it into clean, safe drinking water. Gates was so sure it was safe that he even drank a glass of the water himself. Talk about putting your money where your mouth is. 3. A fleet of private jets. When you're as rich as Bill Gates, you don't just own one private jet, you own 5. That's right, Gates has a whole fleet of these flying luxury machines. His cheapest plane is the Cessna 208C, which cost him $2.8 million. It might be the budget option, but it's still super fancy. But wait, there's more. Gates also owns 2 Bombardier Challenger jets and 2 Gulfstream G650R jets. These planes are like flying hotels, complete with bedrooms. Altogether, Gates' private jet collection is worth a mind-blowing $210 million. 4. The world's most expensive book. Most of us think twice before buying a $20 book, but not Bill Gates. He spent $30 million on a single book. This isn't just any old book, though. It's called the Codex Leicester, and it was written by none other than Leonardo da Vinci himself. This book is super special because it gives us a peek into the brilliant mind of da Vinci. It's full of his thoughts and ideas about science, art, and the world around him. But here's the weird part. Da Vinci wrote the whole thing backwards. You need a mirror to read it properly. 5. California Dream Homes. Bill Gates loves California so much that he owns not 1, not 2, but 3 fancy houses there. His cheapest California home cost him $12.5 million. It's part of a super exclusive community called the Vintage Club. But that's nothing compared to his oceanfront mansion in San Diego. Gates dropped a cool $43 million on this place. It was just finished being built in August 2023. While that house was being built, Gates needed somewhere to stay. So, what did he do? He bought another $18 million mansion nearby, of course. 6. The futuristic Xanadu 2.0. Now, let's talk about Bill Gates' craziest house of all, Xanadu 2.0. This place is like something out of a sci-fi movie. Located in Washington State, this house cost $130 million to build. But it's not just the price tag that's impressive. It's what's inside that will blow your mind. When you visit Xanadu 2.0, you get a special pin to wear. This pin magically changes the lighting, temperature, and music in any room you enter, just the way you like it. Most of the walls are giant screens that show different pictures and artwork throughout the day. There's even a room full of trampolines. 7. A street full of mansions. Most people dream of owning one mansion. Bill Gates? He bought a whole street full of them. In Wellington, Florida, Gates spent about $27 million to buy several mansions all on the same street. But why would anyone need so many houses in one place? Well, it turns out it was all for his daughter. She's really into horse riding, and Gates wanted her to have plenty of space to practice her jumps. So instead of just buying one house with a big yard, he bought a bunch of houses and turned the whole area into a giant horse playground. 8. The $650 million super yacht. Now, this one's a bit of a mystery. There are rumors that Bill Gates owns a super yacht that cost a whopping $650 million. This isn't just any boat. It's so big that Gates supposedly needs to use his $4.2 million helicopter just to get to it. The yacht has an infinity pool with a waterfall at the back. Inside, there are 7 bedrooms, including a master bedroom that's bigger than most people's entire homes. There's also a spa, a hair salon, and a gym that would make most fitness centers jealous. But here's the coolest part. This massive yacht is powered by hydrogen, making it super environmentally friendly. 9. A collection of supercars. Bill Gates doesn't just have an old car collection. He's got a garage full of some of the rarest and most expensive cars in the world. One of his craziest car stories is about a Porsche 959. Back in 1986, Gates bought this car in Europe, but it wasn't allowed in the United States. Did that stop him? No. He tried to bring it in anyway, but it got stuck at customs for 13 years. But that's not all. Gates also owns a Ferrari 348, which is super special because it was the last Ferrari made by the original creator, Enzo Ferrari himself. For those days when he wants to ride in ultimate comfort, Gates has a Rolls-Royce Ghost. This car costs him $388,000 and is designed for the owner to sit in the back while someone else drives. 10. The $130 million Da Vinci paintings. Remember that expensive book by Leonardo da Vinci? Well, it turns out Bill Gates is a big fan of the Renaissance genius. He spent millions on Da Vinci's artwork too. The crown jewel of Gates' art collection is a painting called Codex Leicester. It shows a man lost at sea, and Gates paid a whopping $36 million for it. But Gates didn't stop there. He's collected other pieces of art too, and his total art collection is worth about $124 million. That's like having a world-class museum right in your own home. Can you imagine walking through your house and seeing priceless masterpieces on every wall? 11. The farmland empire. Here's something you might not expect. Bill Gates owns more farmland than anyone else in the United States. Gates has bought up about 270,000 acres of farmland across the country. That's bigger than New York City. All this land cost him around $1 billion. Now, you might be wondering why a tech guy like Gates is interested in farms. Some people think it's because he wants to help develop new ways of farming that are better for the environment. Others think it's just a smart investment. Even though Gates owns a huge amount of land, it's still less than 1% of all the farmland in the U.S. 12. The Vintage Club membership. Remember that $12.5 million house Gates owns in California? Well, just to be allowed to buy that house, he had to become a member of something called the Vintage Club. This isn't your average country club. To join, Gates had to pay a whopping $250,000 just for the right to buy a house there. The Vintage Club is super exclusive. It's where rich people go to hang out away from the rest of the world. There are fancy golf courses, tennis courts, and restaurants that only members can use. Imagine having to pay $250,000 just for the chance to buy a house somewhere. 13. A high-tech horse farm. We already know Bill Gates bought a whole street of mansions for his daughter to practice horse riding. But that's not all he's done for her equestrian dreams. In Wellington, Florida, yes, the same place as those other mansions, Gates spent $37 million on a high-tech horse farm. This isn't just any old stable. It's like a 5-star hotel for horses. The farm has everything a horse and rider could dream of. There are climate-controlled barns to keep the horses comfy in any weather. There's a special track with fancy footing to help prevent injuries. And of course, there are top-notch training areas for riders. 14. The Leonardo da Vinci notebook. Last but not least, let's talk about another crazy expensive thing Bill Gates owns. A notebook that belonged to Leonardo da Vinci. This isn't just any old notebook. It's called the Codex Leicester, and Gates paid $30.8 million for it back in 1994. That's like buying a super fancy house, but instead, you get a bunch of old papers. The notebook is full of Da Vinci's thoughts and sketches about science, art, and nature. It's written in a special way, backwards. You need a mirror to read it properly. What's cool is that Gates didn't just keep this treasure to himself. He's had it displayed in museums around the world, so other people can see it too. And there you have it, folks. Those are the top 14 craziest, most expensive things owned by Bill Gates. From private islands to poop water machines, from rare cars to Renaissance masterpieces, Gates' possessions are as varied as they are valuable. It's mind-boggling to think about how much money you need to buy even one of these things. But for Bill Gates, with his $150 billion net worth, it's all in a day's spending. What do you think? Which of these extravagant purchases surprised you the most? Would you buy any of these things if you had billions of dollars? Let us know in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this peek into the life of one of the world's richest people, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. We've got plenty more mind-blowing facts and stories coming your way. Until next time, keep dreaming big. Who knows, maybe one day you'll have your own private island too.